The wedding of Princess Alexandra of Kent and the Honourable Angus Ogilvy took place on Wednesday, April 24, 1963 at Westminster Abbey. Princess Alexandra was the only daughter and second child of Prince George, Duke of Kent, and Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, while Ogilvy was the second son and fifth child of the 12th Earl of Airlie and Lady Alexandra Coke. The wedding was a traditional Anglican wedding service according to the Book of Common Prayer. Eric Abbott, Dean of Westminster, presided at the service, and Michael Ramsay, Archbishop of Canterbury, conducted the marriage. Notable figures in attendance included many members of other royal families, national figures, and members of the bride's and groom's families. A reception was held afterwards at St. James's Palace. The wedding was watched by an estimated television audience of 200 million people. Early life. Princess Alexandra was born on December 25, 1936 at 3 Belgrave Square, London. Her parents were Prince George, Duke of Kent, the fourth son of King George V and Queen Mary, and Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, a daughter of Prince Nicholas of Greece and Denmark and Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna of Russia. She was named after her paternal great-grandmother, Queen Alexandra, her grandmother, Grand Duchess Elena Vladimirovna of Russia, and both of her maternal aunts, Countess Elizabeth of Toraing-Jettenbach and Princess Olga of Yugoslavia. She received the name Christabel because she was born on Christmas Day, like her aunt Princess Alice, Duchess of Gloucester. Her birth was the last to have the tradition of having the Home Secretary present to verify the birth of potential heirs to the throne. John Simon was present and was the last one to do so. As a male-line granddaughter of the British monarch, she was styled as a British princess with the prefix Her Royal Highness. At the time of her birth, she was sixth in the line of succession to the British throne, behind her cousins Elizabeth and Margaret, her uncle the Duke of Gloucester, her father the Duke of Kent, and her elder brother Prince Edward. She was born 2 weeks after the abdication of her uncle King Edward VIII. The princess was baptized in the private chapel of Buckingham Palace, on February 9, 1937, and her godparents were King George VI and Queen Elizabeth, the Queen of Norway, Princess Nicholas of Greece and Denmark, Princess Olga of Yugoslavia, the Princess Beatrice, the Earl of Athlone, and Count Karl Theodore of Toraing-Jettenbach. Of her godparents, only the King and Queen and Lord Athlone were present. Princess Alexandra spent most of her childhood at her family's country house, Coppens, in Buckinghamshire. She lived with her grandmother, Queen Mary, the widow of George V, during World War II at Badminton. Her father was killed in an aeroplane crash in Caithness, Scotland, on August 25, 1942 while serving in the Royal Air Force. Princess Alexandra has the distinction of being the first British princess to have attended a boarding school, Heathfield School near Ascot. She then studied in Paris. She was also trained at Great Ormond Street Hospital. Marriage and personal life. On April 24, 1963, she married the Honourable Angus James Bruce Ogilvy, second son of David Ogilvy, 12th Earl of Airlie and Lady Alexandra Coke, at Westminster Abbey. Ogilvy presented Alexandra with an engagement ring made of a cabochon sapphire set in gold and surrounded by diamonds on both sides. The wedding ceremony was attended by the royal family and was broadcast worldwide on television, watched by an estimated 200 million people. The bride wore a wedding gown of Valenciennes lace, with matching veil and train, designed by John Kavanagh. She made her way with her brother, the Duke of Kent, from Kensington Palace to the church. The bridesmaids included Princess Anne and Archduchess Elizabeth of Austria, and the best man was Peregrine Fairfax. The Archbishop of Canterbury Michael Ramsay conducted the service. Angus Ogilvy declined the Queen's offer to be created an earl upon marriage, so their children carry no titles. Angus Ogilvy was knighted in 1988, later being sworn of the Privy Council in 1997. Princess Alexandra and Angus Ogilvy had 2 children, James and Marina, and 4 grandchildren. James Robert Bruce Ogilvy. He married Julia Caroline Rawlinson on July 30, 1988 at St. Mary's Church in Saffron Walden, Essex. The couple have issue Flora Alexandra Vesterberg. She married Timothy Vesterberg at Chapel Royal, St. James's Palace, on September 26, 2020. Alexander Charles Ogilvy. Marina Victoria Alexandra Ogilvy. She married Paul Julian Mowat on February 2, 1990 and divorced on October 15, 1997. They have 2 children. Zenaska May Mowat currently works as head of marketing for Halcyon Days Ltd. Christian Alexander Mowat. Marina's first pregnancy, which was announced in late 1989, caused a controversy as the couple were not married. This resulted in a feud with her parents, who suggested she either marry her companion or have an abortion. In an interview with a tabloid at the time, Marina had claimed that her parents had cut off her trust fund and monthly allowance due to their disapproval of her conduct. Activities. Beginning in the late 1950s, Princess Alexandra carried out an extensive program of engagements in support of the Queen, both in the United Kingdom and overseas. Taking part in roughly 120 engagements each year, Princess Alexandra was one of the most active members of the royal family. She made 110 engagements in 2012. However, in late June 2013, she cancelled her engagements due to arthritis. As of 2022, she is still listed as a working member of the royal family, attending numerous ceremonial and charitable engagements. In 1959, she carried out an extensive tour of Australia, and attended the Queensland Centenary celebrations. The Alexandra Waltz was composed for this visit by radio announcer Russ Tyson, and television musical director Clyde Collins. It was sung for the princess by teenaged Gay Caller, who later changed her name to Gay Kaler. In 1961, Princess Alexandra visited Hong Kong and made a visit to Aberdeen Fish Market, Lok Ma Chau Police Station and So UK Estate, a public housing complex. Princess Alexandra returned to Australia in 1967 for a private holiday, but also carried out engagements in Canberra and Melbourne. The Princess Alexandra Hospital in Brisbane is named in her honour. Princess Alexandra represented the Queen when Nigeria gained its independence from the United Kingdom on October 1, 1960, and opened the first Parliament on October 3. Later overseas tours included visits to Canada, Italy, Oman, Hungary, Norway, Japan, Thailand, Gibraltar, and the Falkland Islands. Princess Alexandra launched the New Zealand Leander-class frigate HMNZS Waikato at Harland and Wolff, Belfast, Northern Ireland in 1965. Princess Alexandra opened the Victoria to Brixton section of London Underground's Victoria Line on July 23, 1971. Princess Alexandra opened the new hospital in Harlow, Essex, named in her honour on April 27, 1965. The Princess Alexandra Hospital NHS Trust was announced by the Prime Minister, Boris Johnson, in September 2019 to be part of the government's new health infrastructure programme to build a new hospital. Princess Alexandra served as Chancellor of Lancaster University from its foundation in 1964 until she relinquished the post in 2004. She also served as the first Chancellor of the University of Mauritius. She is also an Honorary Fellow of the Royal College of Physicians and Surgeons of Glasgow, Faculty of Anaesthetists of the Royal College of Surgeons of England, the Royal College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists, and the Royal College of Physicians. She is also the President of Alexandra Rose Day, which was founded in honour of her great-grandmother, Queen Alexandra. She was also patron of the Royal School, Hampstead. The Princess was president of WWF UK until 2011. Until it was abolished in 2013, Princess Alexandra received £225,000 per year from the civil list to cover the cost of official expenses, although as with the other members of the royal family the Queen repaid this amount to the Treasury. Alexandra lives at Thatched House Lodge in Richmond, London, a Crown property purchased on a 150-year lease from the Crown Estate Commissioners by Angus Ogilvy after their wedding in 1963. She also has use of a Grace and Favour apartment at St James's Palace in London. The Princess is the patron of the Blackie Foundation Trust, a charity dedicated to the promotion of research and education in homeopathy. She is also a patron of the People's Dispensary for Sick Animals, the English National Opera, the London Philharmonic Choir, the Florence Nightingale Foundation, the not-for-profit Housing Association Anchor, the charity Independent Age, St Christopher's Hospice in Sydenham, England, CORE, a national charity in London dedicated to funding research into digestive diseases and which also publishes information leaflets on the most common diseases of the gut and liver, the Nature in Art Trust, and the London Academy of Music and Dramatic Art, the oldest drama school in the English-speaking world. She has been the patron of the Royal Alexandra Children's Hospital in Brighton since 1954. She is also the royal patron of Children and Families Across Borders, a charity dedicated to reuniting children who have been separated from their families. She is patron of the Royal Central School of Speech and Drama in London, which received its royal style in 2012 during the Queen's Diamond Jubilee. In her role as president of Sightsavers UK, the Princess visited Washington, D.C. in October 2016 to attend the Neglected Tropical Diseases NGDO Network Conference Partnership reception. In November 2016, 1 month ahead of Alexandra's 80th birthday, the Queen held a reception at Buckingham Palace in honour of the work of Alexandra's charities. Titles, Styles, Honours, and Arms. Titles and Styles. December 25, 1936 – April 24, 1963, Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra of Kent. April 24, 1963 – December 31, 1988, Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra, the Honourable Mrs. Ogilvy. December 31, 1988 – Present, Her Royal Highness Princess Alexandra, the Honourable Lady Ogilvy. Honours. May 12, 1937, King George VI Coronation Medal. 1951, Royal Family Order of King George VI. 1952, Royal Family Order of Queen Elizabeth II. June 2, 1953, Queen Elizabeth II Coronation Medal. December 25, 1960, Dame Grand Cross of the Royal Victorian Order. June 16, 2003, Royal Knight Companion of the Most Noble Order of the Garter. Canadian Forces Decoration with 4 clasps. 1967, Order of the Dogwood 4. In 1962, Grand Cordon of the Order of the Precious Crown. November 18, 1982, Grand Cross of the Order of the Crown. Grand Cross of the Order of Chula Kam Klau. Eponyms. Appointments. Honorary military appointments. Arms. Issue. Ancestry. Since Princess Alexandra's mother was a first cousin of Prince Philip, Duke of Edinburgh, she is a second cousin to King Charles III and his siblings, in addition to being their first cousin once removed because her father was Queen Elizabeth II's uncle.